Okay, now what I want to talk about is a thing that we utilize in our system, which is to help minimize or make everything we do very simplistic. This way we don't have to know a lot of things, but we just have to know the things that we do know very well. Okay, we use a thing, what we call the unbendable arm, okay? And with the unbendable arm, what we look to do is be able to project energy out of the arm energetically, but we also look to be able to physically or due to proper body dynamics to be able to ensure that the arm is at its maximum strength and position. So what I want to do is, Tony, come on out here for a second. Okay, what I want to do is emphasize the thing that what we do with the unbendable arm, okay? In a lot of cases, we wind up with people punching, and a lot of times what happens when a person punches, we run into a couple of things that run risk, or you run risk of injuring yourself on. One of them is a lot of times people will strike, and they have this what we call hyperextended elbow. Okay, this is actually bad for you because the actual initial impact will actually damage the bursa sac in the elbow joint. And believe me, I've done it. So some lessons we learn the hard way. But nonetheless, this is actually a dangerous position for the elbow because you run risk of injuring yourself. Okay. The other thing that we do is we want to watch is the flatness of the wrist here, because what happens, we're trying to focus on hitting with this knuckle. What happens in this case is you don't have the same support. What happens here is there's no support at all for this knuckle at this point, okay? So one of the major things that we do to be able to ensure that we strike with that is we actually bend the wrist forward. And this gives you this arcing action, which brings this knuckle to the forefront. The advantage to that is now that it lines up with the center of the arm all the way through. Okay, that is very important. The other thing that we do is we keep the slight bend in the elbow. Okay, the reason we do the slight bend in the elbow is because this is actually physically the strongest position for your arm. Okay, through body dynamics. Okay, we can also go into the energy channels, but that's not important right now as much as it is the proper alignment. Okay, now if we do this hyperextension and this here, which is what is usually done in most normal punches, what happens, this is where we get that the versus the unbendable arm. Keep it out. Keep it out. You see, this is where we get that yielding. Whereas now, if he does the slight bend, just the slight wrist here, I can sit here and do this. Okay, which then in turn what we helps create is what we call the unbendable arm at that point. Okay, because now you've got the body dynamics and the proper alignment of the joints to be able to ensure that you have the strength behind it. Okay, now the other advantage to this is this, because of what we do in our basic punching and blocking drills, this gives us a very, very simple method of retaining arm position in all the punches and all the blocks that we do, or the majority of them. Okay, at this point, when we do a straight punch, we deliver with the curve in the wrist, the bend in the elbow, you see? Then we do a turn punch, same position, just now it's running, the arm is now running horizontal. Okay, so we now have it here. Okay, same thing in a hooking action. All he does is have to rotate the body, turn your body. Yeah, and you deliver the hook in that same position. Same thing when it comes from an uppercut. If he's delivering an uppercut, same position, same knuckle, same focus, same unbendable arm. One thing, 4 different strikes. All you have to do is learn how to maintain this position. So you become highly efficient at what you're doing, and your arm strength is at its max, okay, for efficiency. Okay, now the other advantage to that is, let's face forward with them. The other advantage is when we go into our blocks. Usually the first 4 blocks that we do are usually going to be what we consider a square. We have the top of the box, sides of the box, and bottom of the box is what we do. So we have the square blocks. But the thing is that if we keep this same unbendable arm position, the first one, as it rises up overhead, you've got this action right here. okay, versus that flat style that you usually see. The advantage to that is this. I can hang on his unbendable arm to be able to have that. And all he has to do is keep it there. And then all the rest, all the work is on my part to try to bend it. You see, at that point. Okay, the advantage to that is then you just turn it and it becomes a side block as something coming in from the side angle from here, which again is the same position as the strike, same position as now, all he has to do is rotate it across here and he gets something if somebody's coming with a roundhouse in this action and stuff, punching, strikes. Still, again, the strength in the arm creates that perimeter barrier. And then the final one is the bottom of the box. For somebody front kicking, side kicking, roundhouse kick, you keep this same position, same alignment, same position, and you've got the advantage of the unbendable arm in all 4 punches, all 4 blocks that you can initiate, which gives you the basic fundamentals. So the one thing I can say is work on it.